I'm Bob. I like coffee. I also like to tell stories. So, here at the Bobcast Coffee, it's time for a coffee break. So, take a coffee break with me and pour yourself a cup of your favorite Joe. By the time you're done with your coffee, you'll know something about me you really didn't need to know. But you'll have fun learning it. Just remember, my stories are true. For the most part. All right, today I'm enjoying my coffee in a Yukon Czech Christmas Market 2021 coffee mug. And so far, of all the Christmas market mugs that we've gotten, this is a really nice one. We've got to get the video stuff going better so you can actually see what a fancy coffee cup looks like. And yes, it still works. Today I am enjoying coffee. This coffee is Scars and Stripes, and we will tell you more about that coffee. Right now, we need to get into episode 20. And this is all about parties out by Surrey Hills. Late into the 70s, a teenage Bob enjoyed the party life. Before the buildup of homes between Yukon and Piedmont, the small community of Surrey Hills was out in the middle of nowhere farmland. For my friends and I, this meant summer parties could form at the drop of a hat at just about any turnout on any dirt road. We also had the North Canadian River, summer nights along the North Canadian River, a couple of kegs and 50 of your closest friends make for a great Friday night. One of the found party spots that we came across was this old farmhouse, and it was in a grove of trees just off one of the many dirt roads. And this grove of trees looked like all the other grove of trees that were outlining the fields in Oklahoma. The difference was that the old farmhouse that was still barely standing behind that grove had what was left of the driveway from the dirt road to the house. And it was really kind of wild to think that this house never had a paved driveway. And this was kind of weird, even in the 70s, to think about. The other good thing that this house had was it was completely hidden from view. So we could easily have 10 plus cars parked and not be seen by the road. So 30 plus kids, no problem. 5 kids on a normal night. And there was always Scott, Mark, and myself. We seemed to be the ones that were always there. Now, you may ask that being a bunch of drunk redneck teenage kids, did we ever go tear up the property or break into the house? Well, if you ask that, you were not a drunk redneck teenager in the 70s. Not in Oklahoma, at least. First, if we went and started tearing up the property, some farmer might get upset and close off the area. Then we'd have to go find a new place that our parents hadn't found out about. Second, the house was already in real bad shape and a little more than creepy. It just never really crossed our minds to try to go in it. So one fine summer night, a few of us had met up by the farmhouse, had the music on, not too loud, laying on the hoods of our cars, looking out into the farm field. And now this farm field wasn't even being used this year, so it was mostly weeds, but the moonlight still made it look pretty cool. And we just sat there with a 12-pack of beer and more in our coolers and a non-tobacco smoke, and it was turning out to be a very calm and relaxing evening. Then the evening went south. Now, I don't remember who saw this first, but it was pointed out to me that there are 3 people walking out in the field. Well, I would have to sit up to see that, so why, yes, there are 3 people walking across the field. Normally, this might be a strange thing to see, but out here, there were lots of places for teenagers to park and drink and stuff. So we just sat there and watched for a moment. Then the question was asked, what are they wearing? Well, I don't know. Long dresses? Those robes? Holy crap! Those are Klan robes. There are 3 true-to-life Klansmen walking across the field right in front of us. Have you ever seen the movie The Blues Brothers? Well, it had just come out in the movies the year before and had a major, strong impact on my life. One, I never knew how deep that the Blues Brothers went. And 2, I hate Illinois Nazis. It's a great line from that movie. Okay, so at this moment, we're not looking at Nazis, but, the Klan, that comes close enough. And this is 1979. And if in 1979 you are the kind of person who thinks the Klan is something to belong to, something to stand for, something to be a member of, well, you're that kind of person I need to F with. Once again, I utter my immortal words. Hold my beer. I roll off the hood of my 1973 Ford Pinto, bring the engine to life, and out into the moonlit field I went hunting for Oklahoma Klansmen. Now, it only took me a few moments, and I had them in my headlights. They were almost to the tree line on the far side of the field. They had heard me coming and had made a beeline to get out of the field. Now, driving through a fallow field may look easy in the movies or even on TV, but in reality, I'm lucky my Pinto did not become a permanent resident of that field. Bumping and jumping and throwing dirt, my Pinto did the best it could. And just as my Klansman prey reached the tree line, my Pinto reached them. Now, I don't know what my plan was when I caught up to these robed wanderers, but here we are. One drunk redneck teen and his faithful steed, and in my headlights was not 3 robed Klansmen, but roughly 20 or so. All of a sudden, those last 10 beers sobered out of me real fast. Now, there was no time to think. The Pinto was already moving backwards and out into the field, bouncing and weaving like crazy, went my Pinto. Off went the lights, and I slid to a stop. I jammed the gear into first and prayed I did not get stuck spinning tires in the dirt. Moments later, I sped past that old farmhouse, heading to the dirt road. I never even noticed if I'd passed my friends. I figured, they thought, well, Bob's gonna die. Might as well call it a night. All I knew is that just in a short amount of time, I am halfway to Kingfisher. Kingfisher? Hell's bells and bacon. I might as well turn around and head home. No idiot would or could have followed me this far. So I point the Pinto to the home, and 30 minutes or so later, I parked my car next to the house and quietly let myself in, feeling a lot tired, but still a little bit hungry. Well, after this strange and exciting evening, who wouldn't feel a little hungry? I made myself a snack and sat down in the living room and ate in a comfy chair. Now, with my snack done, and the night being very late now, I decided to head back to bed. I got up from my comfy chair, turned toward the kitchen, and looked out the front door. And I stopped, and I looked for a moment, and I tried to wrap my head around what I was looking at. And across the street, in the empty field, in a light, and probably the light coming from the front door, might have been the street lamp down the street, stood a person in a red robe. What the crispy bacon is a Klansman doing here? I looked around and I grabbed the closest weapon I could find, which was some stupid knick-knack from off of a table. And thinking only like a Bob, I charged out the front door and headed into stupidity. Standing in my front lawn, I realized I'm looking into nothing but darkness. I am totally exposed, but to no one. Well, at least no one that I can see. All right, it was either pure luck or this massive stupidity got me out here. But I either imagined someone standing out in front of the house, or when I stopped to grab a weapon, they just stepped deeper into the darkness and was now watching me. Either way, it was now time to go in and lock all the doors and windows. I didn't sleep that night, or for the next few nights. Now, I probably really didn't have anything to worry about. I mean, I scared some idiots in robes, and they in turn scared the pee-waddling out of me. All in all, I guess it was equal. Though I still don't like the Klan. I can say I never did find them out and around my neck of the woods again. And boy, am I okay with that. Till the next time.